And we have the sheriff there 5 times a day, so they ain't staying there.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. This is a commission workshop. It is Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. It's 1 p.m.
Yeah, it's right.
Well, actually, mine says Friday, January 20th.
They sent a revision.
I know, but that's okay. Okay, if y'all will stand with me, Commissioner Pelletier, will you do the invocation? And Commissioner Ayers, lead us in the pledge.
Yes, ma'am.
Lord, we thank you for allowing us to gather today, and we pray for your guidance in making decisions for our citizens in our city. We thank you for our first responders, and we ask that you bless them and their families, keep them safe, and let them go home at the end of their shift. We thank you for our citizens and our employees that make Callaway a great place to be, and we pray you bless them with peace and success. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City Clerk, please do a roll call.
Commissioner Bertzel?
Here.
Commissioner Griggs?
Here.
Commissioner Pelletier?
Yep.
Commissioner Ayers?
Here, ma'am.
And Mayor Henderson.
Here. Okay, as far as public participation, since I think we have technically 2 members of the public here, so we're going to be a little more lenient. So we'll just kind of play it by ear as long as we can't let somebody just talk for an hour, but we'll be a little more lenient than typically with public participation, if that's all right with the rest of the commission.
Yeah, no problem.
So we will go on to our regular agenda item. It's item number 1, 2045 Comprehensive Plan Update, and I assume Mr. Greer. How do y'all want to approach this today? Do you just want to kind of highlight the changes, or, what would y'all like?
I think we got to go through it, because this is just breezing over it. It's got a lot of little things.
Well, but I mean, do we need to go through the changes is what I'm saying. We went through the whole document at the last one. Do we want to just kind of focus on the changes that were made?
I don't care, I'm happy with the whole thing, so it doesn't matter, whatever you all want.
Well, I didn't know if we had to, go through it page by page by page again.
We
since
did it before.
We've covered
I
that.
just have one question for Ray.
Okay.
Yeah. Did everything we talked about at the last meeting, you've already made those changes?
Yes, and we did.
Then,
Yeah, we got the new packet.
Did you get also the?
got that.
So we listed all the changes.
Yeah,
on that.
yeah, I've only seen a couple of small things in there, ma'am. I mean,
Yeah, I saw one thing on page 6. There were 2, it's at 1.1.11. It was items H and I. The spacing was crazy in the lines, and that was something that was
Yeah.
going to get corrected, and it didn't. That was the main thing I saw that didn't get changed.
Yeah, with the spacing, so
Let it justify.
until I take the strike-through underline off, even if I fix it, it's liable to come back somewhere else.
Okay.
Because I gotta take the strike-through underline off, and then we're gonna have to format everything space-wise on the clean copy, but that can't happen until after we adopt it and the state
Okay.
approves it. Then I
Okay.
give it back to you in a clean version.
Okay.
But we'll fix the weird spacing.
Well, just out of curiosity, once it goes to the state to approve it, it comes back to us. If something is found, what does it take to change?
So
Does it have to go back to the state? Unless, if it's not substantial.
So next week is a transmittal hearing. So we will transmit it to the state for review, and they'll go to all the state agencies, and they'll review it. They'll send it back with an ORC report, and they'll list anything, and this is all they do, but they'll list anything they find that, they have questions, or they want changed, or it's not consistent with statute. They'll list them, and then we come back, I'll make the changes, we'll adjust it, and we come back to you, to the commission, we bring it back to you. And then that's the adoption hearing. So, and if there's anything that needs to be changed in between now and then, on your behalf, we can make those changes too. We just have to list it when we go to adopt it, so the state clearly knows what we changed when we send it adopted to them.
Okay.
But then after that, it's just a comp plan amendment, again, to fix anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, anything I saw, anything involving spacing and all that business, and you explained that at the last meeting, that all the red has to go in, so when the red comes out and things change, things on various page numbers kind of change, so.
They do, it will, as you know, I mean, you take the strike line off, it brings, and the stuff that was deleted, it all pushes the pages up. So page numbers change, the spacing will change, some of this, sorry, the weird spacing, I don't know where, how,
So why did we add future land use element in front of goal?
So we've got to identify these somehow. And so the way I said, we let each element has a goal, and there, we start with goal one, and then the policies and everything after that, objective and policies, are then unique, like the future land use element is all one, housing element, transportation, they all have numbers that, y'all requested so they'd be unique. The goals is we would have too many 1.1.1.1 if we were to make each goal unique. So what we did was set at the very beginning, so you know where you're at with the future land use element, that's goal one. And we did it with each element.
Gotcha.
Do you want to go through and, like I said, I don't know, do you need to, do we want him to point out the changes? I know they're listed here. Would it be helpful if he points them out, or is everybody good with?
And so, what I did, after a meeting, I went through and went back through and, basically I, made a list and we went back through and did every one of those and created this table. And so there was a couple, like in the conservation element, that, you had brought them up. Some of those policies, and they are, as I mentioned, they are very they're beyond what the city actually can do. They're more state related. And so we went back and made sure if we fixed those and took them out, that it didn't affect any part of the statute, and they didn't. Those, we already had policies in there. Those were up and beyond what the statute requires, so we removed them. And they also went into permitting, like DEP, Environmental Protection permitting, which the city has no part of. And so we just went ahead and removed all of them. Those couple policies, we were able to just remove them. And then there was a policy too in the transportation element that the city was asking about with that list of roads. And so I took the list out, reworded that entire policy itself, and then left it. But all those little things that you had mentioned, we went through and corrected and fixed. And then,
Did anybody have any specific questions on any of the changes?
I have two questions, and I got page numbers if that helps you. Page 42. Sorry if that was on the old version of the 42. Took me a second to find where I was at. I was thinking I was prepared. What did I write here? Where we have policy 7.2.1.9, we dropped, the 7 didn't make it onto there for that policy.
What page is that on?
I'm verifying right now, ma'am. It was supposed to be 42, it is page 42. Right now, it's just labeled as policy 2.1.9. It didn't have the leading 7 for the element.
Okay.
And then also in that same one, that same policy, we have, we mentioned when the Northwest Florida Hurricane Evacuation Study of 2004 is updated. So that was 20 years or 22 years ago, and has that not been updated in 22 years?
let me write this other one down. What was the next one? I'm sorry.
Same one, it's still on that same policy.
Okay.
Just the end of it mentions about the study from 2004.
Okay, so
published.
if you look back at your previous version, this has been updated, and we took that out. and we added in the new stuff. But, as I mentioned in our last workshop, I added back in what's actually required for your hurricane evacuation times, which is, based on the new study. The only problem is, it's gonna be a conflict with Senate Bill 180, that, we had talked about, and so I took it and put it back. So, if you look at your previous version, you'll see this was changed.
Yeah, you had it, what's in this current draft, completely redlined and had a whole thing, and we took that out. But we just put back in the old one, and
Yes.
again, it still reflects back to waiting on something from 2004.
Yes, because if I can't, because the Senate Bill 180, I'm not gonna be able to, we've gotta have this policy in here. It doesn't have to reference the 2004 study, but that was the previous data. The new study, the hurricane times are greater, so they're gonna consider that to be in violation with 180. That's gonna be more burdensome than the previous. And so it's one of those things where we're kind of stuck until Senate Bill
Right, you said later this year.
180, and I did see some
There's
legislation
a bill
proposed.
out there, that's what I was gonna say, there is a bill that wants to pull back on some of that
Yeah.
language.
And it would free this stuff. That would be in direct conflict with statute, and this is a statute thing, this is statutory.
Yep.
The city is supposed to do this, but we can't at this point. We can, I can send it, but they're gonna throw the conflict out over it.
Right after let's say they go through and they get rid of Senate Bill 180. Are we gonna need to come back and redo
Yes.
this?
Yeah, and as I mentioned, I think Mr. Griggs had asked about that. I need, because I also have the military overlay districts that we did for Tyndall,
Right.
that we need to add in, but we cannot add them in because they are more burdensome. So we need to add that in, we need to fix some of the stuff that we were not able to fix. We can all do it, we can do it through another amendment as soon as, 180 is. They either remove North Florida from it, or like they're proposing, saying that the statutory requirements doesn't affect it. It expires in 2028. It's set to expire, but there is legislation being proposed to.
Yeah, but they're hoping maybe
redirect it,
June of
yeah.
2026, it would go away or something, so
Yes.
we just keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, and it's just, this is affecting comp plans across the entire state.
Ray, two more questions for you. Page 74 for the private property rights element. We started with Goal 1 and renamed it there, which isn't consistent with the rest of the way we've written it. Everything else just started with Goal 1 because the title's already right above it.
Yeah, the objective says 10.1, it should say 1.1.
No, it still says 10.1 because we're in element 10.
Is that how that goes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But the goal there, the numbering wasn't quite the same, but it also, like I said, instead of just saying goal, it has words before it.
Yeah, we put this element.
Oh, you've done that throughout some other stuff, never mind.
Yeah, we did on each one.
We did on each one. Okay.
Because we put the element in front of it, just so you would know.
And the last thing, last week, we were talking about comp plan 2045, and now we've updated to 46 because it's a 20-year.
It's a 20-year, so, and I was gonna mention that too, I'm glad you brought that up. We're now into 26, we have to have a minimum, and this is some legislation that was passed in the last couple of years, where you have to, before you only had to plan out 10 years, minimum of 10 years, now it's a minimum of 20. So, because if we would have sent it in 25, we'd have been okay, but because now it's 26, we technically don't have a 26 planning period, so I have updated also, I didn't have time to give it to you for this meeting, but updated the data analysis to reflect 26. So we went through and added and changed it from 2045 to 2046, so we could be 20 years out.
That was all my questions, Mayor.
Anybody else have anything?
Yep. Page 1, policy 1.1.2, section 2, low density residential density. I'm not sure why you repeat the density, but acronym needs to put in there, the LDR.
I think, LDR is land development regulation.
It is,
This is low density
but,
residential.
It should reflect what your chart does on page 5. So if you call it an RLD or an RHD or whatever, I think that corresponds, correct?
Yeah, well, the chart on page 5, and we had talked about this in our last workshop, that's actually, this chart is from a stipulated settlement agreement off a land use change that was done back in like 2002, 2003. The state, this was negotiated between, at that time, it would have been the Department of Community Affairs and the city. And the applicants, they had all these land use changes they made. So this is actually in there per the stipulated settlement agreement. And so like this, you know, it was brought up about the density numbers and stuff. And because this was done through a stipulated settlement, if we change it, then this wouldn't reflect the
I wouldn't
agreement.
change the chart, but instead of low-density residential, change it to residential low-density to reflect what your chart is. And you can get rid of the last density. And then you can do residential medium density, and that will reflect if it's in the chart. I don't see it, but you do have high density, and that's on the next page. So just put residential out in front.
So you want to do acronyms for the land use category?
Right, because it explains what that is if you do it correctly here on page 1.
I don't think we've done that through the comp plan, but I mean, I can add that if y'all prefer.
Yeah, that's the only place I saw it. So do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're talking about adding the acronyms for residential.
And
or
put it in
residential.
the correct order, put residential low density.
Well, they don't match, is
Oh, I see
what he's saying right now. Between
Right.
that chart and here, they use different terms for the same thing.
Residential low density.
Yeah, it's just making it match and making it easier to understand.
I see, that's what you're saying.
I guess I didn't come across correctly last time.
Are we good on that?
On that page, are we good?
That's what I mean, on that page 1. Now, what do you got on page 2?
Right, page 4, policy 1.1.9. You have SPA number 4. I think that's SAP number 4. Is
That's
that
how it's
correct?
listed on mine as SAP.
It says SBA. In the second sentence.
Oh,
Second sentence.
see that.
Yeah, it says SPA.
Autocorrect.
And this is where I had a question about the SAP's special area plan. We don't have a map for that in the back. Should we have something that reflects these SAPs? Just a question. Because I went through our maps in the back and I didn't see SAP in there.
Yeah, it's not on there.
Should we have a map in the back?
And we can, I'll go back and pull, I can pull this where it was originally done too. I mean, it
Yeah,
has
you might be able to add it
maps
to
with-
one of the other maps back there and say, hey, this is the SAP 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, because this would have, as I mentioned, this was a large-scale land use amendment that was done.
Yes, sir.
So there had to be a map that went with it to identify these areas.
Okay, page 10, policy. says capabilities, should that be capacity?
I'm sorry, which policy?
Policy 1.7.1,
Okay.
it says capabilities, hurricane evacuation capabilities, and I think it should say capacity.
I mean, it could be either way.
We-
Capabilities would be, I mean, it's a level of service to evacuate, it's a number of hours. It's the hours that are set to evacuate.
Take a look at it, and you make the determination. It just, when I read it, capabilities didn't make any sense, but the capacity made sense.
I think capabilities reads normal to me, though, like you said, it's the level of service that's being provided, not how many people necessarily living in the home.
Just take a look at it, see what you think. Page 15. Okay, you have peak hour level of service. Where do we explain what D, and E stand for?
It's actually defined by DOT, the transportation, but it's not in here. It's actually, those are level service numbers, they're volumes that are in the, D is a level service volume.
Right, I understand what they are, should we explain what those are if we're gonna list them?
They're in the data analysis.
But that's not part of this.
We can make a policy and just list what they are. Or we could probably add it to this table, actually. Because it's a range. It's a level.
I figured it was a range. But I'm looking at it, I'm trying to
range in there.
Yeah, I think it'd be the easiest way, to just add it to the table.
Okay,
It'd be the easiest way to do it.
thank you, sir. Let's see, page 17. Five dot, 2.5.4, updating the Ped Bike Trail Master Plan. Never heard of that.
Yeah, that's the TPO has it.
TPO does?
Pedestrian
That's
bike.
it.
And they're actually updating it right now.
Yeah, we're in the middle of it right now.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we was hoping it'd be done so we could just add it in, the new stuff, but it wasn't finished.
Okay, page 18. Let's see. Policy it'll be 3.1.3. Right here, we go into, the city will provide land use designations for multifamily housing structures, which allow construction for housing units for very low, moderate income families. Now, that's good, but the explanation of what that means doesn't come until 8.1. So shouldn't that explanation come first instead of later on? 3.8.1.
Yeah, we can move it up. 'Cause it's,
I would, because that's the first time you see it. And then later on, you can just reference it.
Or put C, at the end of it, put C 8.8.
You could do that if you wanted to.
At the end of it, you
But
can
if
put
you
C.
changed one of those, then you have to do the references back and forth, so it's best just to move it up. I thought about that too, but that way we wouldn't have to correct it if we make one change or delete one of them.
So move the explanation up to that one, and then on 8.1, put C
You could do that.
3.1.3.
But just take a look at that.
yeah, I can move it up, flip it around. This is all statutory. I mean, this is, all that's required by Chapter 163 to have in the housing element.
Okay.
He's just looking at it as in a layman person looks at it. Well, I mean, so a lot, you knew what it was, I didn't. So,
Yeah, you know, some of those things just come to you as you're looking through it, and I'm like, I got mentioned before. 8.3. Made that change.
What else you got, Commissioner?
I'm going through it.
Okay.
I'm trying to be quick. I like the way you did goal, objectives, and policies of the sanitary sewer sub-element. But I think that's one of the first times you did that. Would that be useful to put that right after each of the elements? Just say goal, objectives, and policies for the infrastructure element or something like that, so it would give the reader an idea how you're going to break them out? I mean, if you don't want to do that, that's fine.
What page?
That's page 24.
Yeah, the infrastructure element, so it's one element, but it's got the sub-elements in it. And the reason that it was listed that way, it was listed that way in the original plan. We
Yeah.
just left it in that element, just so you know when you change to the next sub-element inside the overall
Yeah.
infrastructure
I
element.
recognize that too. This is one of those areas on policy 5.1.1. You see Callaway hereby adopts 80 gallons per capita per day as a level of service for wastewater treatment. But later on, you say we're going to do 120 gallons per day per capita for potable water. So shouldn't they kind of equal each other?
No,
Because one of them's a half, again, more than the other.
yeah, we were gonna fix these numbers, and this is one of the things I can't change. Like, we have your new water and sewer data,
Yes, sir.
and so this isn't so much correct anymore, but this is an area with Senate Bill 180. If I change it, they'll throw the comp plan out. They just did.
Because it's too restrictive, is that
Yes.
it?
They just
So
did
if you
Port St.
made
Joe's
one
and
of,
then Havens.
so if you made one of them less restrictive, but
Yeah, one of
balanced
them
the
was
two,
restricted.
so you say 120?
But, and now one is wastewater, and
Yes.
one is potable water, and so they're not the same level of service,
Okay.
which,
But if
Water.
you're given 120 gallons of potable water, wouldn't you expect 120 gallons to go into the sewer? Because, I mean,
no,
you
because
got
of irrigation.
extra
Yeah, the
going
potable
into
water,
sewer.
if you look at what the city actually runs at, what they average, your potable water, your usage is higher than what you take in through the wastewater.
Okay,
And it's like that, all the cities are like that,
okay.
just because of,
More of an educational thing for me, so.
yeah, irrigation.
yeah, that's irrigation and the different uses of water that doesn't wind back up into the sewer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fire department. Fire department.
Okay, you removed that. And I see you went through and tried to fix all the acronym areas. Found a ton of them afterwards, went back and looked at them again.
You found more? Since the update?
Yeah, well, you know, for Flume, it's spelled out all over the place, and LDR is spelled out all over the place. But then you go back to LDR, then you go back to land development regulation. So,
And I know, and I tried to fix some of them, my planner that's been working on this,
Yeah,
has been trying to catch it, and then it's all over the complaint.
it is. It
Where
is.
something's not, an acronym spelled out.
Yeah. I can show you-
Now, if you could,
I can show you how to do that.
huh?
I can show you how to do that.
Find and replace.
Find and replace. That's it, find and replace.
Yeah. And hopefully it does it correctly.
No, you don't hit correct all, you look at each one of them, and go, yes, accept, 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 accept.
If you have a list of them, I mean, I'd be glad to,
Oh, they're all over the place.
I mean, if you had some, if you have it marked.
What I did, because I didn't get this in time to really go over it thoroughly, so I just went over the other one
Was it sent to
more thoroughly.
Oh, gotcha. So you should check to make sure.
That's why I'm having to go back and
I've
forth.
instructed her to grab all of it.
Oh, yeah. So on page 38, you're going to review this, and I see you made a bunch of changes. So that's, everybody good with those on 38?
Yeah, so some of these are this is the policies that doesn't have to be in there, they're over restricted. And so we adjusted, some of them, were recommended to be adjusted.
Okay, policy,
I can find the code, because I'm the one that puts them in.
all right. Page 40, policy 7.6.1. It says, as part of achieving future land use element objectives, 1.6. Last time I checked, there was no 1.6.
Page 40.
Where you at?
Page 40, policy 7.6.1. So I went back and looked for it, couldn't find it. So, in the other document, so if it's not in that one, it's not gonna be in this one. So you could probably just eliminate the 1.6 and just take a look at it and reword it.
Yeah, I'm looking for it now.
Figure out where it's at.
Yeah, it's there.
Objective 1.6 is on page 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I did go back and look for that,
It's on
but
page 10.
it was, see, on page 10 of the other document where it was referenced, there is no objectives. Well, there is an objective 6, but not a 1.6.
Oh, that's because we added the one for being the first element, where we added the element numbers.
Okay,
That's fine.
so that's going to match up now?
It does.
Okay. Thank you. On page 42. Let's see, did you delete that? You may have deleted that totally. So what I was looking at in this, there's a 12-hour evacuation time listed for Cat 5. And then in a previous objective, objective 9, so that
Yeah,
would...
we had updated that, but we had taken it back out because of the Senate Bill
Gotcha.
180, because it's more. They
Okay.
would find it more burdensome if we tried to adopt the current standard.
So in objective 7.9, you say maintain roadway clearance time for hurricane evacuation of 17 hours for a Cat 3 storm at high tourist occupancy. But you don't list Cat 4 or Cat 5. And when I referenced the other one that you deleted, you referenced the Cat 5 there and a time period. Should you list the other ones?
No, because,
somewhere?
again, that's Senate Bill 180, trying to fix, I understand what you're saying, but trying to fix it, it's gonna trigger Senate
It's
Bill
gonna make
180.
it worse.
Yeah.
So should you delete it
No, because we have to have it in here.
for a Cat 3?
No, we have to have hurricane evacuation times.
Okay, but you could eliminate the Cat 3 part.
Yeah, I would recommend leaving it like it is until we get past Senate Bill 180.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend,
But that's maybe an area we need to go back and look at.
well, we need to strike all this and add the actual stuff that applies, then based on the new study. That new language, the language that was in the other previous document is what needs to be back in here once Senate Bill 180 is gone.
Okay.
We need to add that back in, which is what the county evacuates at. And that time's set by the state.
Okay, page 45.
So, ready, have you got anyone ready to go whenever Senate 180 comes out?
No, I got all the overlays.
I'm seeing some dollar signs right now.
All the overlays, everything.
Could we just extended the old one out 2 or 3 years till we get past 180? Feel like we're gonna be redoing this again completely.
Oh, it's a mess. I mean, it's so bad because it's prohibiting you from updating your comp plan. I mean, and it's like this all over the state. It is ridiculous. I mean, what's going on, how Senate Bill 180 is being implemented, I mean, I understand the theory behind what they tied it to, but, I mean, they're grabbing all the comp plans.
Okay, page 44, objective 7.1, 7.16. Says incorporate the recommendations of the local mitigation strategy into the comp plan within 1 year of its adoption. Do we want to obligate ourselves to doing that?
Yeah, basically, you've done this, but, and if you want, I can take that back out. We took them out on the rest of them.
I would take that out.
And I can just put it back the way it was.
Okay,
I mean, we did it on the rest of them, where there was dates. I'll just take it out.
there was one thing I thought about while I'm going through all this. There's a bunch of terms in here that are kind of hard to understand. Would it be beneficial to put a short page of definitions for terms that we're using that are not common? Like concurrency, that was just an example. You also add you have some Latin terms in here, I think. Amendum or whatever in here. Instead of using Latin, maybe go to the English, unless you're required to use the Latin.
Yeah, let's see where it was referenced. Now, chapter 163 does have a definition section of most of these terms. Remember, this comp plan is based on chapter 163.
Of the state statute.
Yeah, Florida statutes. That's what, they require each one of these elements and the structure of the element and what's in them is required by chapter 163,
Okay,
Florida statutes. And there's a definition section.
okay. Do we reference that in here? That if you need definitions, go to state statute, whatever?
No, I mean, some comp plans will have definition sections, some of them don't. You actually have an acronym section now.
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, we can add, if you want the definition section, I can add the definitions from 163 into, in a page just like after the acronym page. If that's something y'all want.
Do you know if it's very lengthy or there
It's several pages.
several pages of definition?
You would just take it right out of the statute.
Yeah,
Or you just do
That's
a
what I
line
just
saying
wondered if there
for
were-
definitions, reference chapter 163.
Yeah,
That's what I did. I put a line.
Just put,
yeah, just
Instead of trying to
reference it
tiny
instead.
statement.
Yes, instead of attaching pages of definitions.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and
I appreciate it. I'm just trying to be thorough.
No, that's fine. No, I appreciate you reading it.
Yeah, it's a rough slog.
I can add that actually to the acronym, at the bottom of the acronym page, probably.
That'd be good.
Yeah, just probably
Yeah.
a statement, say,
For
for
definition.
definitions, see, statute.
Look it up.
Pretty much.
That's what I Googled it. That's what I would do. If there was something I didn't know.
You guys need a Z.
And if you'd like more input, now that I got this one, I'll go through, I can go through that thoroughly and see if the acronyms are all included and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, if you find anything, I'd be glad to make the changes.
Okay, thank you, sir. I appreciate your
it?
time.
We need that by Thursday.
Sir,
We need that by Thursday.
Thursday,
Because it's on the agenda for
It's on
Tuesday.
the agenda. Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll go back.
And I think that's great. I mean, I'm not dogging you, I'm just saying we need to get a
Yeah,
change.
that's true.
I have a lot
Get
of
it on the
questions
agenda.
for the city
Right.
manager on this one, but
Okay.
that's different from this, so.
You said you have nothing. Now, I know you had some. Do you have anything, Commissioner Graves?
No.
So everybody up here is good. Did anybody in the audience? I know we've got one. Come up, Mr. Bohack. Come up to the microphone.
She said lenient.
You don't want to.
Yeah, lenient, but that doesn't mean 30 minutes.
No, I'm trying to make sure my computer don't go nowhere.
Although at 70 Canyon Lake Lane, I have two sections I wish to address. The first is in the conservation element, the second is in the coastal management element. And I have to confess, there was a third one that came out as a result of the discussion this afternoon. The first is policy 6.6.1 in the conservation element.
Page.
I don't.
31.
6.6.
31.
Thank you. It includes the following statement. Development activities which will destroy identified wildlife or marine habitat shall be restricted through the use of enforceable development agreement or appropriate mitigation measures. My questions are, who defines, who measures, with what instrument or tools, and approves such appropriate mitigation measures? There's no explanation, definition, or description. My second question.
Well, let's take them one at a time.
Yeah.
One at a time. I would think that'd be a state issue.
So I see you've lined through the pursuant to the rules from the Florida statute and the admin codes. Is that what's enforcing those, Ray?
I would like to know.
No, that's just how we do a development agreement. So it's not going to have anything specifically to do with habitat.
Say again?
The statutory reference that was marked out is just how to do a development agreement, no matter what the subject. Yeah.
That's the agreement part.
Yeah, I think he's just asking who, does the city really
The
evaluate
city doesn't
fisheries and
do that.
habitat?
This is one of them. Thought I amended more of it. Again, getting into the whole mitigation stuff, that's the stuff that needs to come out.
Well,
I mean, we don't-
that would satisfy me. I don't want to see any sort of mitigation personally.
No, but it's the state that makes that decision.
Yeah, that's all the state.
And I apologize, I thought I got those policies. Is this one of them that you gave me the list on?
I asked about mitigation.
Yeah, and somehow this didn't get updated.
Okay.
Did
Is
you
it my
find
other
it?
list?
Yes, I have it on your list, so I can make this change and send this back. I can send you this policy back, so you don't have to look at the whole thing. I'll make that later. I thought that was made. All right, because I got your list.
Yeah, you got the list.
And we corrected you. Everything that was in your list after, let the live see.
Okay. All right, second, objectives 7.2 and 7.3.
All right, stop.
Management.
37. 37.
They're both on the same page, I believe it's page
37.
38.
37.
37.
37.
All right, start over. Which one?
7.2 and 7.3, they're both objectives. They both state, very simply, assist in the protection of seagrasses and shorelines. My concern is the lack of specificity, since the term assist is subject to considerable interpretation. And my question is, who decides if the assist is or is not adequate?
State.
And how will they do so? Who's going to define it, determine it, measure it? I mean, surely there's got to be something other than assist.
My understanding was the two policies below it are showing how we achieve that objective, and it deals with,
Well, I read the two policies below it, and I still couldn't, in my mind, see how,
So we don't develop shorelines.
pardon?
Is that right, Ray?
What's up?
We can't give permission to develop a
Not
shoreline.
below the Mehot water.
That we only go to a certain spot.
Yeah.
After that, anything they want to do in that area, they have to get permits from the state. So then that goes, we're out of it. It's not ours.
so the thing that we're doing to assist is
Those two
preventing
policies.
the sewage.
Yeah,
from
for the first
that
one, don't put septic tanks over there, don't put your sewer collection system there. That's what the city can do, and that's what's in the policy. And then same thing in the next one, it's what can we do? We can coordinate with the other local governments. So, I mean,
And this is required.
yeah,
These
yeah. I mean, I think the answer to this question is,
Yeah.
how are we assisting? By doing policy below.
Okay,
Same
so
thing.
y'all are satisfied that that resolves the issue? Okay.
That's all we can do.
But third is,
Mr. Paul, we're still back to the same thing. When you get to the mean high water line,
yeah,
we can't go on the other side of it. That's not us.
all right,
So we can only develop,
But what we can do is prevent septic tanks from going
Yeah,
on our
what you
side
can
of
say,
it, and that's what
yeah.
we're doing.
on our side, we
That's
can say,
what
okay,
policies
well, this,
will
we
say.
can't do this because we don't want it to go into the water. But when it gets to that water line, if they want to develop out, put in a dock, I don't put in sheet piles to protect their shoreline, all those permits come through the state.
all right, so in that context, then the assist becomes providing whatever information is required or necessary to facilitate the acquisition of those permits.
No, we don't assist in that. They go to the state, they get their own permits.
Then the assist becomes ensuring compliance with the requirements of that permit.
Yeah, well, like 7.3.2, the assist is cooperating with DEP, Fish and Wildlife, or Freshwater Fish Commission, Water Management District. That's how we assist. We coordinate with those state agencies. So,
Okay, that answers my question. All right, the third, which was raised during this discussion, is I take exception to Commissioner Ayers' request that they eliminate objective 7.16 and 7.161, because I think those are both related to policy 7.15.2, parens 1 on page 44. which requires the formation of an ad hoc recovery task force to coordinate decision-making not related to short-term recovery efforts.
Let's start from the top. Where did you start with that I eliminated?
Policy 7.15.2, parens 1, page 44.
I don't remember deleting that. When was that?
You objected to and recommended the deletion of objective 7.16. Incorporate the recommendations of the
Well, he just-
local mitigation.
He just asked to get rid of the one-year time limit. He just wanted to get rid of the one-year time limit.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
he didn't eliminate, just the with
Just
the one
don't
year.
tie our hands to 1 year.
I misheard then. Okay.
Good.
Fine. Because I wanted to show mitigation effort to remain.
Withdraw your objection.
Okay. Thank you.
You blew me
You
away.
did good. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was trying to make sure we could.
But are you done? Are you
Yeah, okay.
Would anybody else in the public like to speak? Come on up.
I'm going to reference his, what was it, the 6.6.1? When the Florida statute was removed, and also the Florida Administrative Code's Rule 17.312. That rule, the 17-3.312, it refers to working with the DEP and the mitigation and stuff. So maybe we should leave that administrative code in that one, since it references the rule.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some more of that stuff out. That policy, I'm gonna rewrite that policy. That policy didn't get rewritten. That's the one he brought
On
up.
the 6.6.1.
Yeah, he's gonna totally redo that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewrite it.
Well, right, but you were asking about it, and you said it didn't reference that, but,
Oh, no, it's the
That's
163.
163 is just about development agreements.
well, right, but the other part is marked there too, so I just wanted to clarify that maybe we should leave that administrative code rule in there when you rewrite it, if it reflects the same thing. And then my next question is, and I can already kind of tell my answer from the comments and some of the questions, is I just would like to know how many of you reviewed the corrections that were sent to make sure all of them were made? Or just instead of coming here and going, sir, did you make all the changes that we asked, you know what I mean? Have we read it to make sure and reviewed all of it to make sure that the changes were made?
I can tell you, I took my copy from the other day where I had marked changes, and I went through and looked, that's how I noticed that the spacing still looked funny. And then I went to the list that he provided of the changes and matched that back. I mean, I picked this up on the weekend, so I'd have time to go through it.
Right. But I was just curious, because I know that from some of the comments, it's pretty clear that some people didn't review it all. But I think it would have been important to review it to make sure everything was changed. As coming here, taking someone's word for it, because, you know, as you know, that mistakes do happen, typos happen, you know. They need to be corrected as well. And this is how I believe some of our issues happen, you know, with our contracts, with our, you know what I mean, throughout the time, because nobody says, hey, let's change this, but nobody checks to make sure that the changes are actually made. Until there's a problem, then we might be facing a lawsuit, so.
I compared mine online against my notes, you know, so that's what,
No, and I appreciate y'all taking the time and going through that, because it is very important, you know, for the city, and I really appreciate y'all looking through it.
Anybody else have anything to say?
No, ma'am. Good.
So this will be on our, I guess the first reading will be on our agenda this coming Tuesday.
The transmit.
Okay, the
Yeah,
transmittal.
it'll be to transmit the proposed plan.
And then after we vote on that, then it will be sent to the state to go to whoever
Ashley,
before it
can we
comes
have
back
a
to
motion
you.
right on that agenda item?
I will make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to make sure we have the motion right,
Yeah, to
Yeah.
transmit.
so that we
Yeah, I
can
have
read
it
it,
to,
make a motion
you
to
know.
transmit.
Yes,
yeah.
so we're very specific.
And that would be the first reading of that ordinance.
Okay, so if everybody's good?
Motion to adjourn.